Hello, my name is Benjamin Wasson. I work with Jerry Richards in the Tac Team. Today I'm going to talk about setting up reliable Windows kiosk computer systems. What do you think of when you think of a kiosk computer? A stand-up email machine at an airport, right? Have you thought of any other applications of kiosk-like computers? Recently I was doing some work for a mental health clinic that wished to streamline their intake process. They used a client management system that had a web component that we could install on the main server. This left up a troubling issue, though. If you give most people a computer connected to the internet to work on, it's only a matter of time until they're accessing Facebook, Twitter, or other websites of that manner. My task was now to find a way to lock down the computers to an acceptable degree without affecting the component of their client management software. As I'm a bit of a Linux guy, my first thought jumped to creating a custom Linux distribution that only had X server and a web browser in it. However, I've never compiled my own distribution before, so after about 15 to 20 hours of research and playing with it, I gave up on the idea when it dawned on me that every single time I wanted to change something with the systems, I would have to pretty much start from scratch. I then looked into some options using an XP install and manually tweaking the registry to lock down the system, and setting up Internet Explorer to use bogus proxy setups so that I could restrict web access. While on this train of thought, I stumbled across a wonderful free application from Microsoft called Windows SteadyState. We'll start out with a quick walk through the program, and then I'll show you a setup with the kiosk accounts. What you see on your screen here is the Windows SteadyState. This is the Windows SteadyState main program. Basically, it lists your accounts here. I've created an account called SteadyState already. You can go in there. This is what you use to lock the profile after you've made your changes. You can set it to log off after certain minutes of use. So say if you wanted to restrict this for your users, you could do that very easily. You can restart after log off, so if you have your disk locked, that way you can every time a new user logs in, it's a completely fresh install basically. You can set passwords, change pictures, etc. Over here in this Windows restriction, this lets you restrict many Windows specific components. Basically remove icons with this section, general restrictions, prevent autoplay, that kind of things. These are really good things if you really want to lock things down. You can select hard drives that you can hide. So if they're not selected, that means they're hidden. This is a really good feature if you want to really restrict disk access. Windows has some presets. You can set things to like no restrictions, low restrictions, high restrictions. For most applications on a kiosk, you're going to be using the high restriction setting. Feature restrictions are another really good feature of this. You can set this up to only allow access to certain web pages. You can set in a few strings of web addresses in here so that everything's all restricted. Very good feature. Move my cam up again. You can use this to prevent internet access. You kind of explore through here on at your leisure. It's pretty nice though. Set up toolbars so you can change everything, set everything to full screen, whatever. It's really nice. This is the really good one too. You can block access to pretty much any program that's installed on the computer, even basic Windows services. So what I generally do is I just block all, and then pull the ones out that I know that they need to use. Say we want to do Firefox. Oops. Let's go down to, well, let's say Internet Explorer. We'll just remove that one. So now they can access Internet Explorer and nothing else. There's really good helps and tutorials. The community is really nice as well. This program definitely helped me out a lot. Let's hit OK. Let's explore some of the other features of SteadyState. What this is doing right now is it's locking the profile down to the presets that we just did. You can set up basic computer restrictions for the entire computer or for all users that are in the SteadyState. Really good features in here. The security settings are really nice. This is a really good one. Removing the administrator name from the welcome screen is good. Right now this is grayed out because of the domain environment. If you're on campus, if you're on a campus that uses an Active Directory domain, this probably will be logged out and grayed out anyways. This is a really good one. This basically locks the C drive so that they cannot make any changes. They can't save temporary internet files or anything. This is completely, it makes it completely impossible for them to host the machine. I like that feature a lot. However, I'm going to caution you from using that, because once it's on, it makes it really, really annoying to do other things. So either don't turn that on until you're completely ready for it, or just don't use it. This is another good one if you want to prevent access to USB devices. So if you have a security sensitive environment, you can make so that they can't plug in their USB drive and take files home from work. That's a really good feature. It's a good feature as well. Do not display usernames. Let's hit OK there. Changes, I don't want to do those changes, so just cancel that. You can force updates on here, force restarts, things of that nature. Most of these things are managed by our domain, so I don't have to worry about these myself, but these are really good features. But generally you can use the Windows stuff if you don't have the disk lock, but if you do have the disk locked, you have to use SteadyState to schedule the updates. For protect the hard disk, kind of the same thing as preventing files, but this literally will lock the hard disk from anything preventing files. Even Windows can't create files, so you really got to be careful with that as well. So that's a walkthrough of the system. I'm going to walk you through creating a user now. Just do add a new user, say kiosk. Password is kiosk. You can. This is another nice feature too. You can set locations. So if you have network drives that you want your user profiles to be pulled from, you can set those up as well. Let's give them a picture of a dog. Don't know how I mistyped that. There we go. Oh, it's because we're on domain. What this does is it creates the profile, creates the settings. This is basically just like using the Windows create a user thing, but then it blocks up this thing. Say we want high restrictions, we want all restrictions, prevent right-clicking Internet Explorer, prevent access to websites below. I'm going to use our domain, edu. That's all that I need for that, and block programs. What I will do is I will make another video and splice these together. Let's block all of those except for Internet Explorer and let's say Firefox and FileZilla for no reason. And then we can hit OK. That'll lock down the user. And then in the next video, I will show you what that user looks like. Hope you've enjoyed this so far and hope it's been useful.